What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah!
Throwdown Nation, what is going on? We are live. It is a Tuesday. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter /X, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 204 of the Throwdown, where we celebrate the art and sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are throwing down with a Georgia-based wrestling photographer and now wrestler in training, a guy who has taken great and compelling wrestling photos all over the Southeast and is currently training at the PWE dojo under Cowboy James Hunter and others. Ladies and gentlemen, Dalton Bell. How you doing?
Everybody? Living the dream, baby. How are you, Matt?
Man, if I were doing much better, there'd probably be 3 or 4 of me. And you know, looking at the chat room on Instagram, we've got a bunch of people pulling in. It's feeling like old home. We're feeling like old home week. We got the cowboy himself.
Oh my God.
We've got Alexander Amaya, my old buddy. We've got Keith Andrews.
My mentor right there.
He is an amazing guy.
Oh, dude, Keith has been such a good teacher to me, and I will always stomp on that. Like, he's taught me so much since I've gotten into photography, and like I will always be thankful for what he's done for me and my time in the past year.
Absolutely. And I've got to shout my wife out, Julia M. Stitches. She's a knitter and crocheter, so that's kind of her thing. But she is also a relatively new wrestling fan.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And, you know, for those of you watching live, let me direct your attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all, or at least most, of Dalton's social media accounts, along with mine. So, you know, do us a favor. If you aren't following or subscribed, take the time and go to each of the platforms and do so. It definitely helps both of us. And any questions or comments, just throw them in the chat, and we'll either handle them as we go or do a little Q&A at the end. So we're going to go ahead and start with not the typical first question, but how long have you been into photography?
A year, or like almost over a year. So I got started, funny enough, at Wrestle America, run by Ryan Adler up in Forsyth, Georgia. Great promotion. One show he asked me to take photos on his phone, and he was like, and after the show he was like, "This is great, like this is good." And then I did it again. And he was like, "Dude, you have a talent for this. Get a camera." And so I went and got a camera, not knowing what I was doing in this world. And I went and bought a camera and just took off from there, just going anywhere I can.
Gotcha. So you haven't really had any formal training or schooling in photography? You just kind of picked it up?
Yes, sir. 100%. I have not been to school one time for photography. Like I said, Keith Andrews has guided me a lot. And being a part of the Keith Andrews media branch has been real cool, like to learn from him.
Gotcha. So, you know, we were talking before we went on the air, and you mentioned that you've recently invested in a new camera. So tell us about your camera gear. What all do you use?
So I just picked up a Canon R6 Mark II mirrorless camera. It's got 4K 60 frames per second video quality, and then it's got it gets up to like 200,000 ISO, and I can't even tell you the shutter speed yet. I've only got to use it once. I have that. I have my backup camera. My OG camera is the Canon EOS Rebel Mark II. Canon EOS Rebel T7. It's a very standard beginner camera. Very simple to use, very easy, but doesn't really do great in darker places. So I was like working in the wrestling business, baby. It gets dark.
Yep.
It gets
It
dark.
does.
And you can't tell everybody to turn up the lighting. So, and then I have a backdrop with newer lights. It's a brand. Newer. I got 4 light. I got a lot of light actually, but 4 lights. I set up at almost every show I go to. And yeah, that's all I really run with. It's it's a lot of baggage, surprisingly. But yeah.
Gotcha. So, as I mentioned, you're also a wrestler in training. So how far along are you in your training? I'm not sure how the curriculum works at the dojo, but how far along are you? How long have you been training?
So I've been training. So when I first got to Augusta, I was actually training at Cowboys House with Anthony Henry and Amber, his wife. I was coming up, helping set up with the ring, and then we would go out there in the 90-something degree Georgia heat and just go for hours. And then James started the dojo in October, and it's a 6-month beginner curriculum to teach us psychology, gimmicks, and how to work. I believe it's a 5 to 8 minute match. I'm not that he would have to speak on that more than me, but how to work a 5 to 8 minute match. And then if you need to keep learning, he'll do intermediate classes and more.
Gotcha. So, I guess in terms of at least the early portions of your training,
Okay.
what do you feel like was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to kind of wrap your mind and body around?
The athleticism. Not you have to if you're not I used to be an athlete when I was younger. Like I used to run backyard football every day. Like I was told I should have been a tight end. Like, and then once you hit like 18, and if you're not in the sports, like you go and get a working job, and that athleticism kind of fizzles away if you're not doing anything other than that. So It's been the athleticism part and the controlling my body, learning how to use your left and more than your dominant side. Like my dominant side's right, but I struggle with that left side of my body. So it can definitely be that, like learning how to control your body has probably been the biggest issue I've run into, and I'm still working on it because it can take a while just to understand. Like, but some people get it immediately. You could do one flip bump, and then boom, you know how to use your whole body all of a sudden. But with me, it's kind of been like I got to do something multiple times to get it down, and just keep working at it to learn how to do that.
I can definitely identify with that. I've never trained in professional wrestling, but several years ago, for a few years, I trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah,
and I would have to really, it was a lot of repetition for me to really get a technique down.
Right.
So yeah, I completely understand. So you were mentioning that you did have something at least of an athletic background prior to professional wrestling. What sports did you participate in before?
So I wouldn't say I had an athletic background because my parents would never let me join the football team.
Gotcha.
But me and all my best friends, we'd go out there every day in the 90-degree, 100-degree Mississippi heat and just run football. Yeah. And that's when I was at like peak form. I actually had abs, and now I just have a gut. But every day, just all of us just running sports, running football, running basketball, whatever we could do to get out the house. And just we'd go every day of the week, 7 days a week, just going and going and going. And I'm sad I didn't get to play football because my parents wouldn't let me. But It's one of those things where you can't change it now. You just got to keep going.
Absolutely. So, I'm presuming because the majority of the people I've had on the show uh, have had this answer, but I'm presuming that you've been at least a fan of professional wrestling the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah. Since I was about probably seven or eight, grew up watching. I know I sound really young saying this, but I grew up in the era of unfortunately, the PG era, the John Cena and the end of Triple H's run and things of that nature. I didn't have the money, unfortunately, to watch all these PPVs, but I grew
Right.
up watching John Cena on TV every Monday, like getting to watch him like win, and then he'd be on this, 100 match win streak, and then boom, he loses, like would crush me.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and like I grew up during that PG era of it had its excitement throughout the time.
Gotcha. So, what would you say is your earliest wrestling related memory?
Ooh. Oh my god, that's a good question. It was probably either John Cena, playing the WWE games. Me and my
Mm-hmm.
buddies would wrestle just on the trampoline every day as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
just doing stuff, and then we'd get mad at each other if we punched somebody. Um, Probably John Cena, just like watching him win, and then all of a sudden, boom, he takes a loss, and it's the most craziest thing. Or like watching him go on a good 10-minute match of, oh, he's definitely not going to win this, and then he makes the craziest comeback in sports entertainment history, like that match, and
Yep.
the 5 moves of doom, and then it's home. Probably John Cena, like doing his thing, and then having to watch that as he goes like as he disappeared out of wrestling.
Yep. 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 So, what was your first live show as a fan?
Funny enough, so are we talking about just any indie show or any show?
Any wrestling show that you were in attendance as a fan? What was your first?
So it was a indie wrestling show uh in my in Mississippi, in Lake Cormorant, Mississippi, at my high school. I forgot the name of it. That was my first attendance. This was when I was in middle school, maybe, or
Mm-hmm.
elementary school. I remember specifically, I there was this guy who came out, like his gimmick was an athlete, and I walked up. He came out with one of those hydrating backpacks, like with the water,
Oh
and
yeah.
he put it on the side of the ring, and I went and took it and brought it to me, and he was like, "Hey man, don't touch that." He came up to me, "Hey, don't touch that," and he turned around straight into a super kick. Like, it was great. And then there was a tag team that was full of clowns, and that freaked me out a lot. Um, and then my first WWE live show was actually with James Hunter. We went last year to SmackDown, or yeah, SmackDown, and it was the return of the Wyatt Six.
Oh
That
yeah.
show, like the Wyatt Six made their return on Bray's birthday, and I looked at James beforehand, and I was like, "How much you want to bet Wyatt Six returns tonight?" I just had a feeling, and like, boom, all the lights cut off, and they all just show up, and it was great. Like, that was my first WWE live show down in
Gotcha.
Savannah.
Gotcha. So, away from wrestling and photography and such, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
So I like to I stream. I
Mm-hmm.
like streaming games. That's one of my big things I do. That I'm trying to get back into. That Oh my god, do I not have any hobbies? Um, I mean, I think like that's about it. Just gaming. When I'm not hurting from training, I'll go out with some buddies, have a couple of drinks. Nothing crazy. I did most of my partying and all that when I was overseas. So like I'm just kind of riding the ride at this point, staying inside and hanging out, watching TV and YouTube and streaming when I can.
Gotcha. Well, we're mostly a wrestling related show, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture, and
Okay.
I'm always looking for recommendations. So by any chance, are you watching or listening to anything cool right now?
Um, let's see here. I watched The Landman recently. That was a good show. The Tulsa King was pretty good.
Yes.
Um, I watched The Ranch finally. That lost me. I mean, I finished the whole thing, but that lost me about season 4. Um, what else? If you've ever watched I think it's called the Digital Circus. It's on Netflix. It's
Okay.
really good. It's an animated show, and it's about like I only watched some episode or two when my sister Ari was in the back with her boyfriend watching it, but it was like these people would get sucked into this game and like they would they have to find their way out. Like they're these digital characters and they got their own avatars and they have to figure out their way of getting out of the game. It's actually pretty interesting and good animation as well.
Gotcha. So another outside of wrestling and photography type of question, what person inspires you the most and why?
That'd be my grandfather. Um, so a little background into my life. I don't want to get too sad. My grandfather and grandmother kind of basically raised me my whole life until she
Hmm.
passed away in 2017 due to I think it was some type of cancer of the in like intestine cancer or something of that matter. But
Gotcha.
my grandfather has been my father figure. My dad's still there, but my grandfather has taught me everything I know. He's been one of my biggest rocks ever in this world, and I will every day. I mean, we call each other maybe 2, 3 times a week and just talk about the weather. Like he's been my rock. He's taught me everything I know from how to change my oil in the truck to changing brakes. Um, like that. Like my grandfather is probably my biggest inspiration of who I want to be when I get up in age, closer to him. Just the type of person I want to be and who I look after.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So we talked about this a little bit before we went on the air, but I selected a few of your pictures that I just thought were really. It was either they were really cool or they were actually of people that have previously been on the show.
Yep.
So anyway, I just want to bring a few of those up and just let you speak on them.
Uh, so
This first one I just really dug. Uh, I just like the composure of it, and like I said, I've had deathmatch guys on, and they all fear the Legos. So
yeah.
tell us about this picture. It is just so cool.
So this was at Pro Wrestling Turbo in Greenville, South Carolina. Great promotion. This is one of the promoters. Funny enough, Josh Powers, Mad Dog Josh Powers. He does almost every wrestler or has a specialty that they like to do. His is the Mad Dog Mayhem match, where there's tables, there's chairs. They do crazy bumps. So this was against another Georgia indie wrestler, Aaron Berry.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all know who Aaron Berry is, that's a lot of meat.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Josh is also
that is a big man.
yes. Aaron is a big dude, but so is Josh, and that was a great match. It's also crazy being ringside for these things, and that's what people don't understand. Excuse me. Every Mad Dog Mayhem match, I've been able to witness and take photos for. I've almost been hit by some type of gimmick, whether it's a trash can, a table, a chair, Legos. Like it's just it gets wild. And I forgot what brewery this is at. Turbo doesn't. I don't know if Turbo plans on running this year, because other issues just with breweries closing down. It's hard to get a venue. But yeah, Josh Powers does a great hardcore match. And it's just great because I was trying to figure out how to capture moments like this, and another turbo photographer taught me how to, with just the speed of my shutter speed and all that, and capturing like each Lego coming down. So it's pretty cool to look back and see this because this was nearly probably almost a year ago, or a little bit less than a year ago. Just it was a great match.
This next one, man, absolutely. I'm going to adjust this a little bit here so we can get more of. There we go. Yeah, man, I've had James Johnson on the show, man, and he is such a great guy.
James is one of the sweetest people I know, and he's just such a nice guy. And this was also at Turbo at the Mill. This was a Mad Dog Mayhem match. It was him, Drew Hood, and Don Furio versus D'Angelo, Mean Dean Richards, and Josh Powers. And I caught this. He looked at me coming down the entranceway. And I caught this moment. And it's just, I don't think people understand another fun part of being a photographer is that wrestlers will do certain things like the chat with you. I'll have guys roll over to me and just talk to me like for a minute or two just about their match, like mid-match. Or in Rumbles, they'll talk to me for a minute. Like it's always fun when people or wrestlers or camera like know where the camera is and know where to pose and look for the camera because you capture cool pictures like this and moments like this.
Absolutely. And then
top
Drew Adler.
So this was at WrestleMerica again. This was him versus Christian Taylor. Christian, when I first sent this picture to Ryan Adler, Drew's brother, funny enough, who runs WrestleMerica, Ryan was like, this picture, like this is the first picture he like it pointed out to me. He was like, this captures a lot of emotion and a lot of what's happening. And I mean, Drew's been in the business for 20 plus years. So like, he knows how to sell. He knows how to get that emotion going. Christian in the back, if you can't see, his face is red because he got busted open. He had a nosebleed mid-match and it played into his American Psycho gimmick. So he just rubbed it all over his face. And it was a good match. Christian Taylor is an amazing wrestler as well. I forgot the name of the wrestler who taught him. James would be able to tell us that because he's more knowledgeable. Drew is one of those wrestlers I look up to, and I hopefully will be able to face one day, and I want to learn from him as well. I've been trying to convince him to get a match with me when I start. It hasn't gone well, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna convince him. But yeah, Drew is just so amazing, and he's such a cool human.
He is. Like I said before we went on the air, Drew Adler was my second guest on the Throwdown.
Yeah.
I had Cowboy, and then Cowboy vouched for me to Drew, and it all just kind of went from there after that. But yeah, man, he's a quality human being.
Oh yeah, quality human being, quality wrestler. Like he puts in so much work, and he'll look out for you no matter what. Like he told me to come in and get my back checked out and all that with him because he also does like body work and things of that nature. And he immediately told me, he was like, dude, your body's jacked. Like you're jacked up. Like you need to get checked out. So I will always have a special place in my heart for Drew, no matter what.
Gotcha. So, you're obviously still in the training process, but you've sort of got at least the beginnings of an in-ring persona. Red Hot Dalton Peppers. So tell us a bit about your in-ring persona and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you.
So Red Hot Dalton Peppers so how the persona came was Alexander Amaya. Funny enough, we were sitting at a brewery show before he left for California, and he comes up to me, he goes, Red Hot Dalton Peppers. And I look at him, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what? And he's like, that's your gimmick. And him and James have helped me mold it into something, like a living thing. He's from the seventh layer of flavor. He's the Scoville sensation. Like, I bring the intensity, the heat. Like, I'm the human habanero. I eat peppers. Like, that's what I do. And him compared to me now is just, what's the word for it? Unpredictable. All my trainees, all my people can tell you I'm probably one of the most unpredictable psychopaths you'll ever meet. I'll say something crazy or do something crazy. It's no in between with me. And that's probably the biggest comparison you can compare us to. So yeah, I'm really excited. I have a lucha mask. It'll be a blast, like, to get down the gimmick and learn how to work it.
Absolutely. That is very cool.
Oh, it's gonna be something.
So you're presently based in Augusta, Georgia.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing about Augusta?
The community. Everywhere you turn, it's nice people. No matter what you do or where you go, the community's always together. And it's just a blast to get out and meet all different types of people. There's always something to do. There's always something to do downtown Augusta. There's always something to do in Richmond County. It's just such a good atmosphere to be in, like good people all around.
Oh, for sure. Shortly after I had Cowboy on the show, my son and I actually drove out to Augusta for a show at the Savannah River Brewing Company.
Really?
And yeah, so we were. It was one of the rare Saturday shows, and so we were out there for that, and at that show, I got my first exposure to Miss Betty, and you
had her on the show too, right?
Yeah, I have, man. She was a treat. She is just awesome.
Miss Betty, I love Miss Betty to death. Miss Betty
she is great.
Miss Betty, like, is one of those people I was talking about. Like, she's very, like, she'll always check in on you. She'll, like, text every wrestler to make sure they're okay. Like, she's the type of person that she's just an amazing human, and I love Miss Betty to death and her wildness, and how intense she gets at the shows. Like, it's crazy. Like, she'll cuss somebody out there right there in front of you, and you're just sitting there like, I really hope she doesn't punch this man today. Like, please.
Yeah, my son was in complete and total shock at Miss Betty.
Miss Betty's wild, man. Miss Betty is wild. That's one.
So you've been watching this stuff long enough that I'm sure that you've probably developed some of these. but what is your biggest wrestling related pet peeve?
Timing. Timing makes everything. And with me, like, I'm always on my tail about it because I'm military, so on time is my thing. Like,
oh yeah,
and like, so it's just timing, like timing of everything. Like, I know it's different in the ring, but keeping time, making sure you hit all your spots, like making sure that you're on track, so you don't make the promoter or the booker mad, or you have to screw some other wrestler out of their time in their match where they have to switch things up. That's probably my biggest pet peeve, and I'm still new to it, so it's something I'm working on and trying to learn as well.
Gotcha. So, and this, over the time I've been doing this, I have used this question in every one of these, and it's become one of my favorite questions because it's been almost a 50-50 split, and everybody has their reasons for answering this one way or the other.
Okay.
But if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic? And why?
Great in the ring or great on the mic? I'll tell you this. Great on the mic. Everybody can be great in ring. Not everybody's great on mic. And not everybody's great in ring, technically. But you can be great in the ring. Like, anybody can be great in the ring. But great on the mic, it takes a different type of human to go out there, especially if you make it to, whether it's talking to 3 people or 2 million people. Like, it takes a different type of human to go out there, and you can be told, like James has taught us, you can be given a 3-minute heads up right before you go out. Hey, go cut a 5-minute promo. Like, it takes a different type of human to go out there and cut these things and cut these promos and keep it going and get the fans into it. Like, anybody can be a great wrestler, but it's really hard to be great on the mic. It really is. Like, unless you're taught, like, in like classes, like you went to a bunch of speech classes and things like that where you got to do it. But it is really hard to be great on the mic, and I feel like nowadays you're starting to see it a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think great on the mic, because you can get a booking as a manager, announcer, a promoter, like, or a GM. Yeah. You can get all these different type of bookings. If you're great in the ring, you could just get booked as a wrestler.
Yeah,
you can just get booked, like, cool, like, but great on the mic, like, is one, like, one of our trainees, Noah, like one of my other fellow trainees, Noah. He's great in the ring so far, and he's great on the mic. Like, he cut a promo this last week or a couple weeks ago for our 4-month evaluations, and I've never, there's not many promos I see I'm like, dang, I really want to go see this wrestling show. But, like, he cut a promo about a show that isn't happening, like, because I was part of it, like, pick a day, pick a time, pick who, when, where. And I was like, this show might not be real, but I want to go see it. Like, Noah is, shout out Noah, he's hopefully watching. He was in here a second ago. Like, being great on the mic can take you far in the business. Like, you don't have to be, you can be a decent wrestler, but if you're great on the mic, you can get booked anywhere, anyhow, because everybody's a great wrestler nowadays. Like, it's hard to not find, like, I mean, it's hard not to find a over decent wrestler. And, like, it's hard to find people on the mic that can draw you to a show, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You know, people with a truly natural gift of gab are comparatively pretty rare. But right. But occasionally you've got somebody like an MJF who is just insanely good on the mic. I mean,
so good. Or a Kit Wilson, like, who is now getting more shine, and I think that's because of his gimmick. and his gift on the mic. Like Jericho, yeah, he was
Yeah.
always a great wrestler, but his gift on the mic was insane. Like
for
The
sure.
Rock, Stone Cold. Stone Cold is your most basic wrestler possible, but what made him so great was his gift on the mic.
Yeah,
Like and John Cena too. Most basic wrestler possible. Yeah, he had super strength, but most basic create a superstar possible. And his mic skills got him to where he was.
Absolutely. So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? Is there a match that's like comfort food? You find yourself circling back to it. It really speaks to you, and it never really gets old. Do you have such a match?
Yes. I have two.
Okay.
I have Curryman versus Jay Lethal.
Okay.
ROH, I think it was 05 maybe, or a little bit after. It's about a 25-minute match. But this was prime ROH when Christopher Daniels was the most over human being in wrestling. And like the gimmick work was it was 25 minutes, but when I tell you the first 13 minutes of the match was arm drags and headlock takeovers and gimmick work, that's all it was. And then the final 12 minutes was just wrestling. And so there's that match, and I highly recommend that match. Like, it's so good. And then there's 2014 Survivor Series. The Survivor Series match. It's just so good. Like one of the peaks of the Authority John Cena rivalry, like just the Dolph Ziggler comeback 1v5 or 1v4, and you just think, oh, he's not gonna make it. He's got to get past the Big Show. He's got to get past Mark Henry. He's got to get past Luke Harper and Seth Rollins. Like three of the biggest dudes in the business and one of the best in the ring at the time, and still is. And Dolph Ziggler's got to get past all four of these guys, and Dolph Ziggler weighs 300 pounds less than almost all these dudes. Like, impossible. Like, and then you watch the ending, and I shed a tear every time. Like, it's just, and I jump out of my seat every time. It's so good, and just, I love a good story. I love good storytelling. I love it all, and I love a good underdog story. And that match just describes it all, like the heel turn from the Big Show to the lead up to Dolph Ziggler. Can he do it? And then he gets the pin on Luke Harper. Oh my God. Boom. He takes out, it was Kane. Was it? No, it wasn't Big Show. It was Kane. Sorry. It was, boom. He takes out Kane. Boom. He takes out whoever. Boom. Down goes, Seth Rollins or, Triple H, low blows. It's ball game. Oh my God. Here comes Sting. And that was one, as a younger guy, that's one of my first times seeing Sting. Like on TV. Like, and I'd never seen him other than TNA. And seeing that, like, just chills. Just the whole match. Just chills. It was great. And then wrestling kind of went downhill like that after that, like for me.
Yeah.
So, those two matches were amazing.
Well, you know, we were again talking about this before we went on the air, but it is hard to go wrong with anything Jay Lethal does. and then, you know, I'm also a big Ziggler mark, man, and the run that he's been on as Nick Nemeth now in TNA has just been amazing.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, really leaving WWE may have been one of the best things that ever happened to him.
Yeah. So Ziggler is my, I don't know if you're going to ask this as a question, and sorry if I'm hopping to it, but Ziggler is my GOAT. Ziggler is my number one. It's who I look to for selling, for character work, for just in-ring skill. And he was always underrated yeah, they put a belt on him. He wasn't even supposed to win that big belt. I'm pretty sure there's a story somewhere out there. Um, it, there was like just he's been so underrated his whole career, and
Yep.
he never. I feel like he never got his true chance of being a world champion, and like leaving, he got his big shine when he left WWE, I think, and he went and won championship other places and did his thing. And I was actually sad because I thought he was going to go to the comedy side when he left WWE because he's also a comedian. So like
Right.
I thought he was just done with wrestling, which it was a work because he said he was, and then he worked me and was like,
Yeah.
boom, show up as the most wanted man in TNA.
Yep.
And like, yeah, that was pretty good too.
So, piggybacking on to the previous question, do you have an all-time favorite promo as a fan?
It's a great question. Great question.
Thank you.
That's what I say when it's really stumped me. I'm trying to go and run through my mind. Probably, funny enough, it was Dolph Ziggler's promo on the, who was it on? It was either, I forgot who it was on, but he talked about doing the most out of everyone in the business for so long and then always still being the underdog no matter what, like never giving your true chance to shine. Him and the Miz, I can name, I couldn't name, like the Miz and him just cut such good promos just because they've been two of the top, like most consistent workers in the past 20 years and such business guys, and they've always just been the most underrated. I feel like their promos, both of them, just cutting promos about that, are always good, especially that one where the Miz shot on Bryanson,
Mm-hmm.
and basically told him like, you were giving all these opportunities while I was still busting my ass for a decade in, and I was still never given the chances you were. Like those promos were cinema. Like those two are some of the best promo workers there are.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously you're still going through training at this point, but what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And on the flip side of that, is there a move that scares you?
Um, I really want to learn. I've been trying to get James to teach me this, and I hope he's in here because the Canadian Destroyer, I will learn it. But my favorite move so far has been the hip toss stunner. Um, it's where you bounce off the ropes. The person goes for a hip toss, and you spin and get them and hit them with the stunner. I was watching old, because nobody takes from older wrestling anymore. Nobody will go watch old ROH and do the moves that these wrestlers used to do, and they're not used anymore. And Sal Renaro, I saw his match against Lethal in 05, and he did it, and I was like, this move is great. And I told Drew Adler about it and Sal, and both of them basically looked at me and said the same thing. They were like, I've been telling people to do this move for years, and people and wrestlers will always tell us like, or tell them like, it won't work or it's not a good move. But if you're someone my size, 6'1", like 200, doing this move, you're going to get a pop because no one expects that out of you. No one expects that type of agility or reversal out of you. So I think that move has probably been my favorite to learn. And then a move I'm scared to take is, I will admit this every day, is the back body drop. is one.
I can understand that.
Move. Like Cowboy was like, all right, we're doing back body drops. Out of like 6, I was only able to do 1 right. Like, I don't know, like it's just the height, like you're not even like, it's just the height you get on it. Like I don't like people like AJ Styles are definitely like one of a kind humans, and these guys from old ROH days, because they used to take this thing and push themselves off the post and give themselves like at least 5 more feet in the air. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm good. Like that's one scary ass move to take. Excuse my French. It's just a scary move. I hate it.
You know, if I were a wrestler, which I'm not, a move that I would love to experience doing, because to me it looks like the ultimate in cooperation with you and your opponent, is a Spanish fly. I mean,
yeah, I could definitely go with that. That would probably be a move. It's definitely like the Canadian Destroyer in the terms of it's about timing and it's about momentum. Yeah. It's all about momentum and timing. Like if you get the timing right, one of you are landing on your head. Or wrong, sorry. If you get the timing wrong, one of you are landing on your head, or both of you. Like it's just like I said, everything in wrestling, like if you're like James told us, like the best compliment he's ever got was your timing was amazing. Like everything, like wrestling is about timing. That's one of the biggest things in wrestling. And yeah, that would probably be a scary move to take, especially if you do it from the top rope. I watched one this past week at Viral Pro Wrestling, and it almost went completely wrong off the rope. And they almost like, if he didn't flip dude into a suplex looking thing, brother, somebody was going to have either hurt in the morning or wake up in the hospital. Like that's definitely a scary move.
Yep. So, what is your take on the role that social media is playing as a promotional tool in wrestling, specifically indie wrestling?
It's helped so much with wrestling, I think. We're in the social media era right now of wrestling. There's 4 different eras. Of course, you have your Carney era. You have your, I forgot the other 2 actual names, or is it territory era? I can't remember.
Territories, yeah.
Territories, and then you have your television era, and now we're in the social media era. Cowboy will probably chew me out because there's actual name to these eras, and I completely forgot them. But I think it's done really great, like wise of helping wrestlers, as well as back in the day, you hear stories of wrestlers driving 15 hours and not knowing if they're even going to be booked on the show. Went to a Jamie Noble seminar recently, and he was like, yeah, we used to drive like 15 hours to a show and not even know if we're booked or not. Like, and nowadays you could just pop up your phone, text somebody, oh, hey, can I come work for this amount? And if they don't respond, you know it's a no. If they do respond, you could be booked. Like, it's definitely helped with promotion wise and getting indie wrestling out there more. I feel like the past couple of years have been the biggest years for indie promotions and indie wrestling in general since before the 2000s kicked off, when crappy wrestling began, like, and all that. So I think it's really truly helped get more people out there and get more people involved in the wrestling.
Absolutely. So, knowing everything you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
God, I tell him a lot of things. Jesus. Don't go out drinking too late. It'd probably be, man, that's a great question. You stumped me. It'd probably be to keep your head up, and the rough years will pass. I've unfortunately lived a few rough years in my life, and I bet there's going to be plenty of more. And some of those times, like, I kept my head down and just stayed to myself and didn't go out. So I think it would probably be keep your head up and keep going and get yourself out there. Don't lock yourself away in a cage where you won't allow anybody to get to you. Because this life thing's hard. Like, it's always going to be hard, no matter what age you are, no matter how old you are. Like, it's just going to be one thing after another. You could be having the greatest streak of your life, and then boom, just like that, lightning strikes twice. It's just keep your head up, keep moving forward, and keep pushing is all you can do.
Gotcha. So, something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. So last night, I had a wrestler from San Diego, California on the show, a guy by the name of G4.
Okay.
And he has a look and a presence, and I think we're going to be seeing stuff out of this guy.
Okay.
But the question that he posed is, would you ever wrestle barefoot?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, would you pull a Matt Riddle?
So I feel like me personally, probably not. Just for the fact of you wear boots and stuff to protect yourself. Yeah, it's for gear as well, but it's also to protect yourself. And you get your toe stepped on by some 300-pound wrestler, dude, you're out for 6 months. Or if you land a move wrong on somebody, it's going to hurt a lot more than that padded boot did. There's a wrestler, Steve Allen, of Allentown. He landed I think it was like a kick to another wrestler, and it was just one of those things. It's wrestling, and his toe hit dude's bicep, and hurt his bicep, and I'd be afraid of it's just a lot easier, I think, and safer to wear boots, because unless you're trained like a Speedball or a Matt Riddle, or even a Steve's really good, but all these wrestlers have been trained in some type of martial arts that allow them to do that. So me personally, probably not, because I'd also be scared of that mat burn. That crap sucks on my elbows because I don't wear elbow pads like I should. I bet it'd hurt a lot worse on your feet. So no, I would not. Probably not.
Gotcha. So, during his farewell tour, John Cena kept bringing up the concept of leaving wrestling better than he found it.
Okay.
What are you doing in terms of your actions and such within the professional wrestling business? How do you hope to leave the business better than you found it?
I'm trying to bring back gimmicks. I'm trying to bring back the fun in wrestling. Don't get me wrong, the cool spots, the cool everything is the crazy spots they do, like Javon Evans, his crazy moves, like that one tornado kick he did the other night at Raw, was insane.
I mean that kid is just he is something incredible. Special.
I feel like one thing we got lost in wrestling was the entertainment. We lost our focus on the entertainment and became more of a sport. And there's a reason why wrestlers hate calling it a sport, because we're not a sport. We're entertainment. We're nothing about, other than the running, and nothing about us is really a sport. We go out there to entertain kids and people all around. We're trained, like James tells us, we're trying to get the reactions from the 5-year-olds and the 70-year-olds. And we lost that eye on entertainment after, unfortunately, I hate saying this, after Vince McMahon left. Because no matter his past or whatever he did, Vince knew how to entertain people. And there's no deniable fact about that. He kept the prices low to entertain. He made sure families could get into wrestling to entertain. He kept the gimmicks interesting. And I think once gimmick died out, like, we lost the actual fun in wrestling, in my personal opinion. And I want to bring that fun back into wrestling. I want to bring back the gimmicky part where we did, like, a great example of this is Wade Adams. Great wrestler down in here at Augusta. Gimmicks, fun, like, bring back that entertainment that we once had back in with the good wrestling. Like, if we can combine the gimmicks with the good wrestling, like Christopher Daniels did with Curryman,
yeah,
wrestling wouldn't be thought of like about dying out. Because funny enough, Jamie Noble looked at us at our seminar a couple weeks ago and he goes, praise the Lord, I pray to the Lord this doesn't happen, but in the next year wrestling's going into a recession. He was like, in the next year and a half, wrestling's going back into another recession. And he was like, I hope it doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, great. But he thinks that wrestling's going to go into another recession. And the only thing to keep it alive until something sparks up again is going to be indie wrestling. So I think a big game changer for wrestling to stay alive is combining the gimmicks with the good wrestling again. Bring back the entertainment while doing the sporty part of the business. All the excitement, like gimmicks is what I want to bring back. The fun that we have in wrestling.
Gotcha. So, are there any upcoming shows that you're going to be at doing photography? Where can people see you?
So this Saturday we have our PWE Phoenix Wrestling Experience has our second Bay show ever on Fort Gordon. We have 2 shows that day. We have a I think I might be wrong, 4:00 show for the AIT kids, and then a 7:00 show for families and everybody. And then I have one FW, One Fall Wrestling on March 7th and 8th. 7th is a show and winder, and then the 8th is a TV taping, a free TV taping, by the way, at their arena in I think it's Watkinsville. And then I have PWE again, March what day is that? The 12th. We have Clover Clash. We have our pot of gold on a pole match, which will include wrestling legend Bob Evans. He'll be there in the pot of the gold match against D'Angelo, TJ, Linnaeus Preacher, I can't say it right, and TJ and TJ Era, if I didn't say that name. I'll have that, and then WrestleMerica the 14th, and then a few more bookings that month with 1FW and a couple other shows. So March 7th, you're going to be in Winder? Yes, sir. I'll be in Winder. 1FW has a show. You know what? Winder is like 10 minutes from here. I'm gonna have to come out to that show, and you and I are gonna have to meet in person. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be. If you look on 1FW's website, if you just look up One Fall Wrestling, they have all their events at the bottom. And March 7th, me and another trainee will be there, and hopefully a couple others. I'll be doing photography, and I'm trying to get more of the trainees into one fall because I'll put one fall over like I put PWE over. One fall is getting big. One fall is probably the biggest indie right now in Georgia or in the South. Like, their talent they bring in is insane. The connections and as a wrestler, as a trainee, you make is insane. It's a bunch of they bring in a bunch of AEW guys. They bring in the Nightmare Factory talent. So it's ran by QT Marshall and Scott Barnett. Like, it's just really cool to see where they're going with it so far, and it's just awesome. So cool. They have like over 150 events this year, I think.
Wow.
And that's just insane to think about, and it's all in the Watkinsville, Winder, all up in those areas around Atlanta. It's just exciting stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, tomorrow night, Wednesday the 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern, we've actually got a rescheduled episode 202. And our guest is a Central Florida-based wrestler by the name of Baracco. He's out of the House of Champions in Orlando, and he was actually the inaugural House of Champions heavyweight champion back when they were first kind of getting started. But I'm definitely excited to pick his brain. And then this coming Monday, March the 2nd, at 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got episode 205, and our guest is actually a Texas/South Carolina-based wrestler, Elia Lopez. I say Texas and South Carolina because he had done the majority of his training in Texas, and had actually, had a number of matches out there, but he has recently relocated to South Carolina. So
okay,
I'm definitely excited to talk to him and kind of see what the future holds.
I'll see if I run into him. I'm in South Carolina a lot, so it'll be
absolutely. So cool. He is like freshly moved there, so I don't really know. I'll be talking to him and kind of finding out what his plans are. But anyway, Dalton, this has been an absolute pleasure. I have had a complete blast with you, so thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Matt. I really appreciate what you're doing for the business in general. Getting the indie guys out here, people like trainees like me or production people like me, getting them on here, getting them a platform to come talk. It's been an honor, and I appreciate you. And hey, hopefully in the next year I can come back on, baby, and then things can get really spicy.
No doubt. But anyway, for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and such, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until tomorrow night at 7 with Baracco, be good to each other, love each other,